Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Got in a power bank or portable charger to take a look at here. This one's coming from Mukiya and the model is the B815. This is going to be fairly compact, have a ton of capacity for its size, and have a TFT display on it. So stick around if you want to learn about it. I'll do a real quick unboxing, go over all the features and specifications, talk about some things that you can use this for other than charging cell phones, and then I'll give some thoughts on it. If I had to guess, I'd say I have more than 50 power banks, which is an excessive amount of them, but I do think that most people should have, maybe 3 or 4 of them. Most people are obviously just going to use these to charge their cell phone, but they can actually be lifesavers during power outages. There's a lot of people who, because of where they live, maybe like in an apartment complex or whatever, cannot have a gas generator, or maybe they're physically not able to start or move around a gas generator. Another option for people are like those power stations like a Jackery or a EcoFlow or Blue Eddy, stuff like that. But they're fairly expensive and they're actually fairly heavy. They're not the most portable things, whereas these are very portable and very inexpensive. But let me quickly show you around this box of this Mukiya. Again, it's going to show you what you're getting here. The Power Leap. I'll show you some of this up close in a minute. There is a QR code that you can scan there. I'll show you some of the specifications. You can pause and read any of that you want, because I will not go over all of that stuff in this video. But let's get it out of this box. See what all they include. Alright, so in the box we had the power bank itself, a charging cable which is type C to type C, and the manual. I will quickly show you the English version here of the manual. But here is this little B815 power bank. This appears to be made out of some type of metal. The housing here definitely feels like metal. And then it kind of has like a soft rubber touch here on the bottom. Again, we're going to have a color display. We're going to have a type C port up here and then a type A. I believe the type C is 100 watts and the type A is 30 watts. We're also going to have a type C here. What to figure out what all that is for. It's 130 watts total between the two ports. It is 74 watt hours of total capacity, which is 20,000 milliamp hours. And one quick thing about that 74 watt hour capacity, you are able to take this on an airplane with you because this is under the 100 watt hour limit. Grab you guys some quick dimensions on it. We are at 4.8 inches in length, 2.1 in width, and 2.2 in depth. As far as the weight on it, we're looking at 18.3 ounces, so a pound and 2 ounces. So at just over a pound, there is some heft to it. I believe that the batteries that they're using here are 21700s, and there are 4 of them in here to give us that 20,000 milliamp hour capacity. So let's power this on and see what this display looks like. So it's going to give us our input kind of wattage, our output wattage. It shows our battery capacity. Again, it's all color display here. If you don't have anything plugged in, the display does time out after like 30 seconds or so. We'll obviously check that out whenever we plug something in. That USB-C port up on top is input and output. The type A here is output only. And then this retractable USB-C cable is input and output. I believe this is over 2 feet in length. So yeah, very long cord here. So let's plug the unit itself in for charging and see what the display looks like. See if it shows us that it's charging. So yeah, it shows right now we have 44 watts going in, and it'll take about 26 minutes to charge. And then over here it shows we're at 73% and going up. Alright, I also want to check the top one to see if that input is any different. We just had 44 watts on the cable. So let's see if this one's any different at all. It's about the same. It looks like it's 45 watts. So your input wattage is the same no matter which one you use. That actually might be because my charging block is only 45 watts. Let me get a different one. All right, got one now that is 65 watts. So let's see if we can get any higher charging out of this. Yeah, it went right up to what the block is. So I know for sure you can charge this at basically 65 watts, and then I know that it's capable of discharging 100 watts. So if you have a MacBook or a different laptop that can accept USB-C charging, this will charge your laptop. I also want to try that retractable cable, make sure we can get 65 out of it. It's climbing up. So yeah, 64 there. And you can see we were at like 72% when we started, and this has only been plugged in for a minute, if that. We're up to 78%, and it says we'll be at 114 minutes. All right, something I want to quickly check on this is if it has pass-through charging. So again, we're plugged in right now, charging this up at 64, 65 watts. I want to plug something into one of the USB ports and see if it will work. And yeah, it does. Does it show what we have going out now? So just over 5 watts going out, 64 coming in. So yeah, that display is really nice that it shows, again, all the information that you need. So I can shut that light off and my wattage right there will go back to 0. And yeah, if I change like the brightness of that light, the wattage will probably decrease. See that right there? I've honestly never had a small power bank like this that gives you that much information. That's really nice having that. Another feature I haven't talked about yet is this has a built-in phone holder, and that thing just drops down, and then you can rest your phone on there so that you can, watch Netflix or TV show or whatever, and you can have your phone plugged in and charging while it's in there. So I showed this little light a minute ago, but during a power outage, having a little power bank like this is so beneficial to be able to have light in any room that you go into. You can pick up these USB powered lights for like $5 or $10. They're very inexpensive, but again, just great during power outages. I have this style here too that looks a little more like a traditional light bulb, but again uses very, very little wattage, 4 watts out of this. You can even take something as simple as this. These only cost a few cents, or like one of those flexible bendy ones that are for laptops for lights, but plug that in there. And this would definitely light your way at night. And it doesn't even use a watt. That's 0.8 watts. Let's say it's in the middle of the summer, 90+ degree heat, and there's a power outage, or even you just go to the park or something like that. You can get yourself like a USB fan, and I've removed the battery out of it on purpose to show you that you can use something like this to power your fan. Okay, no battery in here, it's all completely running off of this. But if it was 90+ degrees inside your home, this would be a lifesaver. And because this has multiple ports, you could easily have lights and a fan if you needed it. Plus there's still another USB-C port back there. If you are somebody that likes to do a lot of photography or maybe fly drones, using a little power bank like this is perfect for keeping your spare batteries charged. And speaking of batteries, again, you can take this little power bank, and if you have a battery charger, we can plug this in, and then AAAs, AA's, whatever type of charger you have, 18650s, you can use this to charge them up. Again, that would be good for maybe like kids' toys or weather radios, stuff like that during a power outage. Maybe you have flashlights or lanterns that have internal batteries. Well, again, we can take this, and charge this up. So right now it's using 2.4 watts to charge this. Or again, I could take this here and plug it in here and charge up my lantern. Going back to batteries quickly, if you have a battery that has a USB port built right into the battery, we should be able to just charge it up right from that. I mentioned a laptop earlier, but yeah, you can take that little power bank and charge a laptop as long as your laptop will do USB-C charging. So I mentioned summertime power outages and being able to use a USB fan and stuff. These are hand warmers and they get extremely hot. And if you had a winter power outage, these would definitely keep your body temperature up. And you can take, again, this power bank, plug this in and charge up these hand warmers with it. So I know I keep saying, like, you know, you can charge this and do this with it, but just so you know about the capacity, like let's say I needed this for a power outage and it was going to be for lights. Well, this little light right here is right now using about 5 watts. And if our capacity is 74 watt hours, you just divide that by 5, and this is going to last about 14 hours. So let's say I turned this on, you know, and I ran it for 4 or 5 hours a night. Well, this would last me about 3 nights off of this little power bank just for lights. Now, obviously, the more things you start plugging into it, it is going to drain the battery a little bit faster, but this should easily last a night or two for lights, fans, and cell phones. So do you guys use power banks for anything other than cell phones? If so, let me know what you use them for down in the comments. Now, I obviously just got this one, but my first impressions are this is built really well. Everything seems to work really well on it. I like that it has multiple ports. Again, USB-Cs, you got 2 of them, the USB-A, plus it's 130 watts of total output, very fast charging. I know this will do like an iPhone, like a 17 Pro, up to 70% in like 30 minutes. So 0 to 70% in 30 minutes, so very fast charging on it. I like that it has this built-in retractable cable here. Everything on it seems like it works great on it. Again, huge capacity, 74 watt hours or 20,000 milliamp hours. You know, that should charge, again, cell phones, tablets, laptops, you know, anything like that. It's got that really awesome display that shows your battery percentage. It shows your input wattage, output wattage, time remaining on stuff. So a lot of information on that display. And then it also has that little built-in phone holder stand, a little kickstand on it. So these power banks are available on Amazon. At the time of me making this video, they're coming in around $80, which I think is a very fair price considering everything that this power bank can do. This might be the smallest one on the market that has 100 watt output power, again, to be able to charge up a laptop and stuff. Most of them are bigger than what this is. But anyways, I will leave that Amazon link down in the video description in case you guys want to find out more information on the power bank. There are a couple of written reviews on there, so if you want to read them, you can, or if you want to pick one up. But all right, guys, if you found the video helpful or informative in any way, please hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And that's going to be it on this one. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.